Hi, everyone. Here today to talk a little bit about um, getting away from wanting to be perfect all the time and one tool that can help you do that. So, first, the whole idea of being perfect, that trying to be perfect isn't such a bad thing because, it's pretty honorable that you want to do well and you want to do your best. But also, you need to understand that it's really not possible to be perfect all the time and we make mistakes and we learn from mistakes. And that's how our brain grows and gets wired. It's wired to learn from struggle, learn from mistakes, and that's how it improves and strengthens and how we get better at what we do. So instead of worrying about being perfect all the time, it's more important to look at what's going well and build on those things. So the brain also is wired to have kind of a negative wiring, negative mindset, because it's looking for danger. So it has a negative bias. And so it's really easy for us to focus on what went wrong, what went wrong, because that's kind of how our brain is wired. So you shouldn't beat yourself up for that. But just recognize that understand that the brain does that and pause and think, all right, in that moment of me wanting to beat myself up for not doing something right, what went well? What went well? Can I move away from being perfect and honor the fact that I will make mistakes and that um, it's okay to make mistakes and it's actually good to make mistakes because that's how you learn, that's how you grow, as I mentioned. And notice what went well. It can be the smallest thing. And I was talking to a client the other day, and she's kind of moving through some things and working it with a different trainer, kind of going back to basics and feeling like, oh man, I'm going back to all these basics. I've kind of, you know, did I waste a lot of time? So kind of in that mindset of, oh man, why am I not, moving further forward? And I talked about the idea of how important the basics are, and it's good to refresh them, and everybody has to go back to the basics periodically. And also, her talk, she had mentioned some things that had gone really well for her. And I said, start focusing on those things, small things. She was improving her sitting trot, and it was such a struggle. And the new instructor didn't think she would get it as quickly as she did, and she has, and things like that. So to really notice, instead of getting so focused on, what's not working, notice what's working and go, wow, that was a big improvement, even a little improvement. And then build on that. Why did that go well? What was it about what's working that really, what did you do to make that happen? What was the work you did? What was the process? So that you can build on that and improve on the things that maybe you're struggling with. And if you kind of work on that, that'll help you get away from that idea of being, needing to be perfect all the time, because you'll start feeling building confidence and feeling gratitude and joy and about the things that you did well. And it's really good. I mean, I mentioned this client, and I need to be better, take my own advice better too with things that I do, is to have keep a journal of what went well, right? And just even if it's when you're driving home from the barn, um, recording on your phone, push record and then start driving and just talk about what went well in your lesson. And if you want to go deeper and do a written journal when you get home, at least you'll have things fresh in your mind because you can go back and listen to your recording and go even deeper on that and think about it and look at it. So that's really an easy way to kind of start a journal and keep going with it. And you can look back in the journal and go, oh, I did have success here, and I had this success and this success, and look how far I've come. And I kind of laugh. I look back at journals I started and maybe stopped years ago and then go, oh man, I thought I had all these struggles, and they're like nothing now. They're gone. I'm doing, things have improved so much. So it's really good to write stuff down, celebrate those small victories, um, focus on those victories, even if it's really hard for you to get past like wanting to be perfect and focusing so much on what didn't go well. If you could just pause and be kind to yourself and give yourself that space to say, it's okay. I wanted to look for what went well. Even if I felt my whole lesson was a huge struggle, I am going to look for what went well. And I'm going to record that in my journal or in my phone or wherever I keep it so that I can remember that and I can build on that positivity. And it takes time to change, it's and like I said earlier, it's not a bad thing to want to do really well. So trying to do things perfectly isn't such a bad thing. It's just, again, knowing that it's not possible, and the way you're really going to grow is to do your best. Certainly try to do your best and work hard at what you're doing. And as you do that, celebrate all the stuff you've been doing. Celebrate all that hard work. And that will help you to start shifting from that kind of perfectionist mindset to an open mind, a growth mindset, as opposed to that fixed mindset, a growth mindset of all of these opportunities out here for me to learn. And what am I going to learn today? What mistakes will I make? What successes will I have? How will I build on my successes? And how will I celebrate my successes on a daily basis? So just a quick tip. I'll be back sometime soon, and have a wonderful evening.